like when people, the hackers have become so, as you already have seen, people can go and like use the cameras in your house to spy on you. It's the people don't have a rational, and they definitely don't have actual understanding of the degree of technology we're talking today. If you look at hacking and AI in the future, it's going to be way easier to have access to everything. So maybe it is the option. But as far as the legal reasons why people would not use the technology we have, that is a main concern that people bring me. Is like,
Yeah, that's the thing. But there's when it comes to hacking, there are ways of handling that specific scenario in a way that you can limit the amount of damage. You cannot stop the damage. You can limit the damage. For instance, if you air gap the server information from the actual service, or for instance, you create a custom Linux service, but that's just a lot of work for something that is quite minor. That's one of the reasons why public infrastructure is generally vulnerable to that kind of stuff. But there are things as engineers and as programmers we can do to just at least get rid of the low level stuff. And like if it's a targeted attack, then yeah, you can justify it. Say it's some kind of Chinese spy trying to destroy the infrastructure. Like it's the millionth time I hear this. But the point is, you can still do a lot with very little when it comes to protection of information and infrastructure just on like a basic level. It's just that, for instance, you don't want to expose JavaScript on your website. You don't want to expose CSS code and links that are direct to your folder inventories. You want to hide those things if you can, just because it's practice. It's good practice to do that, and it will already solve like 99% of cases. That's it. It's just a question of going. It's sorry. The way you would phrase it is that you don't want to go so fast you break things. You want to go fast enough to catch the wave, but not so fast that you go ahead of yourself and start breaking things, like a lot of tech giants like to do.
yeah, I've also found that it's actually more complex for a big structure or a big hospital to create something from scratch like this because they already exist in a frame that to for them they're actually always going to try to implement things into their frame.
I see.
They're not going to try to start from zero. And so I think this is part of why development wise all these companies they have a lot of money but they don't have like they will naturally be trying to add something to their ongoing system. So this is if you want to look for a position for you, in instant HPI. I think first you need to know what you want because we are very open to all the forms. In your case, you already have an entry point to a group of doctors that are interested in a similar tech. So the ideal thing would be using your knowledge, using your training, that you actually see how this can help them and maybe come in an agreement with them or a structure and you start working with it over there to see if this is actually what they were looking into. And from our endpoint, we will use you as the representative. Or and not just that, depending if you want to, like I said, if you're interested in helping them run the codes and all that and do all the setups for them, that's also something that we're looking into.